Welcome back. You're watching the Daily Report. Now is the time for the Insight, where we sit down and broach issues. And tonight, I'm honored to have Tony Gachoka, who's the spokesperson of KANU, and we want to delve deeper on matters politics, matters economy, and also the social construct of the country as it is. But more importantly, also today on the ground, we had sentiments regarding the sale of shares of Safaricom, and this is what Kalonzo Musyoka had to say. Let's listen.
Wauze ile kampuni ambayo inaleta maziwa mengi Kenya hii. Ni kama Waingereza walisema, the goose that lays the golden egg. Na ndio tunasema hatuwezi kampuni ya umma ya Kenya iuzwe kiolela, huku tukijua ingawaje ni kampuni kama Vodafone ambayo iko na umaarufu duniani kote, na tunajua wao wenyewe wanazingatia ukweli na uwazi. Tunataka wao wafikirie uhusiano wao na Bwana Ruto na shirika la M-Pesa. Safaricom ni kampuni ya Kenya. Hapa ile pesa ambayo inasambazwa Kenya nzima, it is in billions kila siku. Kwa hivyo nasema lazima wananchi wahusishwe. Mnakubaliana na sisi? Wangama sema hiyo haiwezi kuuzwa tu kiolela namna hiyo, na tunajua hiyo ni pesa kina Ruto na wenzake wanaweka kwa mfuko wao.
Why are we perpetually paying for housing levy? Money that is never counted when it comes to owning a home. This levy was actually not supposed to be a tax. It was supposed to be a saving initially. That there are people lined up with stock brokerage agencies at KCB Capital. And I want KCB to come in the open and explain to Kenyans why they would want to pay commissions to the same government officials of over 1 billion Kenya shillings in regards to this sale of Safaricom shares. Even in the most despotic times in this country, we never saw these kind of things happening. So let us, as we do whatever we are doing as leaders, and especially those who hold the instruments of power.
1 and 7.
All right, that really acts as a segue to our discussion here with Tony Gachoka, and we want to just ask very incisive questions regarding this particular sale that has been in the public domain with different conflicting arguments around it. Tony, good to see you. Good evening.
My brother, it's wonderful to be here. TV 47 is my best home.
Fantastic, fantastic.
I'm really happy to be here tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
All right, let's just get down to the brass tacks right now, because yesterday we saw also the CS, John Birdie. He submitted to the parliamentary committee a copy of the cabinet memorandum that approved the sale of Safaricom shares to Vodacom, alongside the sale and purchase and valuation agreement. He also tabled the permitted procurement framework for this particular transaction that KCB apparently will be undertaking. This particular KCB, that is an investment bank, will be undertaking this particular transaction. So you have moved to court, you alongside Professor Fred Ogola. And I wanted just to get to know where you are at, first of all. Of course, this matter is alive in the courts. We won't be discussing the merits and, of course, the merits about it because of sub judice, but you'll be able to inform us, first of all.
First of all,
yes.
I want to inform the country that there is no sub judice rule when it applies to reading or informing the public matters that are before the High Court. I want to confirm that my lawyers are aware I'm here, and my lawyers have authorized me to give you documents that are filed in court. So first of all, for the purposes of your editors and the public, everything that you are reading or that you are discussing are matters already in the court record. But because of that issue having been, set aside, we need, first of all, to describe Safaricom. Safaricom is a Kenyan company that was brought about by the decentralization of telecom services so that Kenyans could find ways to communicate. And the people who began the process of decentralization could never have imagined what Safaricom would become. There were many competitors when Safaricom was launched. People remember Kensel, what they call Zain, or whatever it was. But Safaricom has become the social player in this country in a way in which it touches on socio-economic development, that it has become the heart and the soul of the country. Debari, you know, last year alone, Safaricom transacted 38 trillion shillings. I want to repeat, M-Pesa last year transacted on behalf of Kenyans 38 trillion shillings. The uptake of Safaricom among the livelihoods of Kenyans is 84%. Last year, Safaricom Kenya contributed to 8.6% of GDP. They have this thing I never knew how important it was, called Fuliza. How do you pronounce?
Fuliza.
Fuliza. They gave 890 billion shillings to Kenyans with no interest, because they know Shylock. You just have a good Safaricom account, you draw the money, and you pay when you can't. There is a time I traveled with my mother to Turkana to go and see her friend, and there was internet in Turkana because of 5G provided by Safaricom. The thing called M-Pesa is an innovation of these young people of this nation. That is the pride of this nation. William Ruto, wewe Ruto wewe, unataka kuuza shift na shaf, unataka kuuza housing, even fake fertilizer. Wewe Ruto wewe, wachana na Safaricom.
All right.
Wewe Ruto wewe.
All right, so let's just get into the nitty-gritties first of all, because we can see people have been raising questions regarding the share that is really grossly undervalued, questioning how the price was determined and if at all it's really fair for the taxpayers.
And I don't want to interrupt you.
Yes, please.
I've given you an application that was filed by Vodacom Kenya. Do you have it with you?
Yes, I do.
Vodacom UK. Do you have an application from Vodacom UK? Did they not apply to withdraw? You can read paragraph 1 and 7. That is an application by Vodacom UK. So you can describe what they are saying.
No, for the interest of time, because...
No, read paragraph 1 and 7 for the Kenyan people. Of the application by Vodacom.com about this application in court. It's in blue, it's in front of you.
All right. Here you are.
I will
just flip it. Because why don't you just read it yourself?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
And what they are saying, this is an application to the High Court filed by a lawyer called Aisha Ahmed Abdallah. And in paragraph 1, they say that they are representing Vodacom International. In number 7, they say, in any event, the 7th respondent is not a contracting party to the sale to the government of Kenya of the shares to the 6th respondent, which transaction constitutes the primary issue of this contract. Now, I'm giving you a document filed by Vodacom International. They have applied to the High Court to withdraw from the suit that I have sued, stopping the sale of Safaricom. Vodacom is saying that they are not party to this suit. I've given you the document. And the reason Vodacom is doing this, and I've also got a document from the company registry.
Yes.
To show the beneficial owner of Vodacom Kenya is Vodacom International, which you have there. On the 12th of March, we are going to court to decide this matter at the High Court in Milimani in Nairobi. Now, the issue why Vodacom is pulling out of this transaction is because of what happened in Chicken Gate, when IBC used British company to commit fraud, and British directors were jailed in the UK. I want to tell the directors of Vodacom UK that they cannot run away from this transaction. They either withdraw from the purchase of Safaricom, formally in court. And I am telling the lawyers of TV47 that all the documents I'm bringing here are legal. These are documents in the High Court, in the custody of the High Court. Vodacom is applying to withdraw from the case. And they are saying in their sworn affidavit that they are leaving this to the local company. And they are leaving it to Safaricom and the local company to handle the matter. Because there is in the UK an Office of Serious Fraud, Crimes Fraud, there is supervision in the National Stock Exchange of London. And so I want to ask you this question. Once you look at these documents, you should ask yourself, if Vodacom is so proud of buying Safaricom, why would they not come and hold a concert and talk to everyone and say, we are here. We are here to expand the business. Why are they withdrawing from a case that we have filed? And let me also tell the public, the senior counsel in this matter is the Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. He is assisted by Eugene Wamalwa and a retinue of counsel, so that people understand this is a matter of public interest. Now, the government can come back tomorrow and say, no, hold on, there's a mistake. But the government cannot answer because Vodacom is withdrawing from the case. And why I'm here today and why I want to raise this issue is, why would Vodacom International, why would they withdraw from a case they have said they are buying? And I'm raising this issue in the public interest. Why am I raising this issue? In addition to the value of Safaricom or M-Pesa, there is the issue of criminal liability, meaning when you engage in a matter that involves the public, you must disclose and you must own the issues you disclose. What we are asking is this: who are the transaction advisors who are involved in this transaction? Do Kenyans know them? Who are the lawyers who are involved in these transactions? Do Kenyans know them? Who decided the value that will be sold, and who are they? Do Kenyans know them? The question of secrecy, the question of urgency scares me, because what is going on in one of our top companies in this country, that it must be done now, it must be done on time, and it must be done by them. And nowhere are we allowed, even in this program, to scrutinize because of those rules of sub judice. So all I'm asking, my brother Debari, if you could explain to me, who are the people proposing that we sell this company? Who are the people proposing to buy it? Where was there the auction or the decision on the price? What happens, for example, if they agree on a price, what happens to M-Pesa? Because M-Pesa, separate from Safaricom, M-Pesa is a lifestyle in our country. If somebody takes Safaricom at 55% and takes it away, your mother, who at home every end of the month can buy goods and pay bill and be comfortable that he's secure. What does she do after that? And she has no bank account. Anyway, I didn't want to hog too much.
Yeah, but well, they've not indicated that it's a threat that the M-Pesa is going to be affected, right, first of all. But we just want also to just ask this critical question, like, yes, you're asking very pertinent questions. Who really decided, you know, the share value that is being sold at, which I have mentioned. It's been raising concerns that it is grossly undervalued so far. And we saw the Cabinet Secretary appearing before the parliamentary committee there on privatization, raising these questions and presenting all these documents.
But so, the Auditor General, the Auditor General was in the same meeting. The government Auditor General questioning why that decision was made. I heard the Auditor General say to the face of Parliament, no, why are we selling Safaricom? What I want to ask you this, and I'm really happy that I'm here, because this is an emergency call to this nation. You know, And you know, you interviewed me when I went to Andani on the Jomo Kenyatta Airport. And I remember you telling me it can't be done. And you remember we got the orders and we saved the airport. So I don't know who will ever develop that airport, but let it be fair and let it be public. Look, I've taken an adventure on this Safaricom matter. The reason is we cannot lose Safaricom. These children, these young people that you're telling to prick brings and do housing and whatever, they need AI. They need a future. Safaricom is a company of innovation. It is the pride of our youth. It is everything that our children have grown up with. William Ruto, please leave Safaricom alone. And I really hope that he can make this apolitical. For me, I'm going to court for the nation. I'm not going to court for politics. I can't find any reason why you would sell Safaricom for 200 billion shillings, a company that is entirely private, but owned by the people of Kenya. Entirely private because it's profitable. Entirely private because you can't control it. I can't understand why we would need to offload it and why we have gone to the High Court to ask for the intervention of the High Court is because people in Kenya believe you can't stop these corrupt deals. And I'm telling William Ruto and everybody else, you have messed SHA, you have messed education, you do not mess Safaricom. I want to answer your question.
Yeah, but on the other side, we've been complaining about Kenya being saddled with this excessive debts that we are in right now, almost teetering to the to the red line, as it were. It's been ticking up 12 billion, ticking up to 13 billion, and going upwards, which is dangerous for this country. We don't want to be having a pail in the hand, asking for money all the time. This is an avenue that we can try and finance, our own projects here in the country. This was the germinal idea for coming up with this particular share sale of Safaricom. That yes, we can get the infrastructure fund to steamroll some of these tanky projects that are on.
So Debari, US President Donald Trump, who I think William Ruto took one picture with, was yesterday slammed down by the US Supreme Court on levying among the world illegal tariffs. The Supreme Court of the US said the president cannot exceed authority in levying taxation because taxation is the preserve of Congress. In this country, taxation and the raising of revenue is the preserve of Parliament. The president cannot legally institute an infrastructure bond. The only reason the president is pushing an infrastructure bond is because he wants to go beyond the rail gates of Parliament, the controller of budget, and the Auditor General. We must not allow an extra constitutional president. The imperial presidency died with Section 2A. William Ruto, unfortunately, was elected by the 2010 Constitution, but he never participated in its foundation, so he doesn't understand it. William Ruto lives in utopia. And I tell you, when I took Andani court to him, Baba, Mzee Raila Odinga called me and told me, TG, why are you fighting Andani? I told Mzee, this will be a mess in your legacy. I told Baba, leave this thing Andani alone. Mzee did not hear me. Mzee lies where he lies today, knowing that Tony Gachoka told him, we are not selling JKIA. So I can say this, people quote Raila every day. I'm quoting today what I told Raila.
But he expressed regret that we never sell through with Adani.
Yeah, and I disagreed with Baba.
Yeah.
And I'm saying today, I do, and I put it on public record, that I told Baba, leave our airport alone. There are ways in which we can do these things in a proper way. Now, I'm telling you, the reason this matter is in court for judicial intervention is so that Kenyans can have awareness. Debari, I'm really happy about this interview, not because we will win or lose in court, but Kenyans must ask themselves the question, why is Safaricom on sale? A profitable company,
right?
A company that is employing thousands of people, a company where, for example, last year, they had 1 million agents. Just agents who transfer money. In terms of those guys who do till numbers, 319,000. In terms of their contribution to uplift people from poverty, 84%. In terms of the revenue that they generated to this country, over 38 trillion shillings outside the banking sector was done by Kenyans. Outside the diaspora, people who live abroad, who send money to Kenyans every day, 291 billion was sent safely through Global Pay. People who cannot access Netflix or Prime Time or whatever can go on an account because they can get a credit card virtually on M-Pesa and be able to enjoy their life. Your mother can be in trouble at home and require emergency medication for diabetes or cancer. And you can send M-Pesa to her, and if her phone is not working, you can pay bill the hospital. This issue of M-Pesa is a lifestyle for Kenya.
Thank you. You've made your point. So I want just to ask you, because you've raised the concern that this is not being done with the procedural propriety that it should in the first place. But we've seen they are trying to make sure the proper channels are followed. And I've just mentioned even yesterday, we had the Cabinet Secretary, John Birdie, saying that asking Parliament to expedite the whole process so that the infrastructure bond bill may sail through.
I think you
so
want,
that they can get the approval of Parliament.
I think you want John Birdie and Ruto to take us to Singapore. I think you can join them there if they
what I'm
me
saying is
M-Pesa.
that at least the procedural propriety is being looked after.
Okay, so
it's not being done, in the back channels or back.
So could you explain to me why the buyer, I've given you the document. Maybe we can, when we take a break.
Yeah.
When Vodacom,
yes,
Vodacom has applied within my case in the High Court to withdraw.
Yeah, so they're withdrawing, and of course they have the company representative, which is the Vodacom, Kenya Limited, just as if, yeah.
Because that's where you can steal. Who is buying? I've shown
so
you.
So why should they bypass the company, which is a representative?
Could I have the CEO? I have given you the ownership.
Yeah, I do have it.
Who is the beneficiary owner of Vodacom Kenya? You have the document.
Yeah, we don't want to go to the merits and demerits of this. This is a matter which is alive in court. Yeah.
So then why am I here?
Yeah, so that's why I'm asking you.
No, I know, but you don't want to go to the merits.
No, I'm just asking you, first of all.
Why am I here?
They have their company here, right? If they withdraw and this company is their representative, I just want you to give me the reason why they should not go full steam ahead and withdraw.
The Greeks have a saying.
Which is?
Of those that the gods want to destroy, they first make mud. I don't understand how Vodacom is buying Safaricom and in a suit raised by me with Senior Counsel Kalonzo Musyoka, they say in the first reply to our suit that they want to withdraw. I don't understand. This is Vodacom International.
Yeah, reason big given by them is?
My lawyers can't understand.
No, but you said you can't
maybe
understand.
You can I don't understand.
You've just given a substantiation that they have their representative here, which we know.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Is there any rhyme or reason why they shouldn't withdraw?
Let me read.
They have it here.
Can I read number 7? In any event, the 7th respondent is not a contracting party to the sale to the government of Kenya in the shares of the 2nd respondent, which transaction constitutes the primary sale. And therefore, Vodacom International wants to withdraw. This is a rabbi-dabbit. Yes.
Okay. So let's leave it at that. We wait for the proceeding for courts and we shall learn what will be the outcome of it. Yes, so thank you so much. Now,
I wanted to discuss a bit more why, the infrastructure bond. I really loved watching your news because you're raising the issue as to why the infrastructure bond came and why then maybe this issue of Safaricom is important. Because, the way to raise a budget...
Not only just Safaricom or even Kenya Pipeline and other...
it's just... exactly. And that is why governments are required to raise estimates or bring debate for estimates before a budget. So their budget is discussed and approved through various committees, but led by Parliament. And so all government bodies, counties and national government bring estimates. And then a budget process goes through in June when people have more or less agreed and the budget proposals are put to Parliament by government for approval. Now, what I think William Ruto has been trying to do since he began the government-to-government trade for oil, which was trying to circumvent the exchange control fluctuation. It was called the G2G deal. Mm-hmm. And then from there, the issue of buttering sugar and other issues, it became, how do we circumvent Parliament? Because the infrastructure bond, whatever its good issues may arise, is removing the power of the past from Parliament. And Parliament does not only have the power to create money, but to supervise and to audit the use of that money. Mm-hmm. So when you create this infrastructure bond that the president wants, it is an infrastructure bond that cannot be sustained because it cannot be supervised. I want to give an example of the presidential advisors. President William Ruto appointed advisors, but the High Court has ruled them illegal. So I'm just here trying to help this president from looking foolish. Because if the High Court has already told you, when you appoint advisors, you cannot, you look foolish. But, you know, when you talk this way, they send you goons or stones. Mm. But I want to talk to this man intellectually. What was the purpose of appointing these advisors when the High Court has now told you, you can't? So what I'm telling you today to this president, there is no country on earth based on a constitutional order, unless it's a monarchy, where you can begin a constitutional fund outside the Parliament. It is illegal, it is unconstitutional, it is impossible. It is an act in futility. So it is better we start telling William Ruto some things you cannot do. For example, William Ruto if he's lucky, he can only run for 2 terms. He cannot run beyond that because the Constitution constrains him. And I am telling you today, he cannot start an infrastructure bond because it is unconstitutional. Now, let me give a reason why Kenyans should trust what I say. When I took Andani to court in the JKI case, and I remember you interviewed me. At that time, you were not in this station. But I remember you interviewed me and said, would this happen? And I went to court. And I got conservatory orders. We stopped JKI, and the cancelled contract is now a matter of public record. Now, I know a lot of people are on internet, they were aware, but I went to court. So I want to be very clear that I am not a litigant that is busy. Mm-hmm. I would not want to misinform the public. And I have no personal attack against the president today by saying he's wrong on this issue. But on issues that deal with the rule of law and the consolidated fund and the need for government to work within the confines of the Constitution, Tony Gachoka will never, ever, ever, ever rest. So I'm saying to the country, because many people think Safaricom has been sold. A lot of people think that we are just waiting. I want to tell the country as TG, Safaricom has not been sold. And if you want to raise the questions, and I thank TV47 for asking these questions, then the public can engage. There will be an open court case on the 12th of March, led by the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamalwa and a retinue of lawyers. And all the public are invited at the Milimani High Court to come and see for themselves whether Safaricom has been sold. Okay.
And of course, also, this is a matter which is alive in the Parliamentary Committee on privatization of course, and budget control as well. So we'll wait to see what will be the outcome of that particular investigation, where he tabled all these documents that the members of Parliament were requesting, so that they may interrogate and see what was the cabinet memorandum all about that approved this particular sale of Safaricom. So it's a matter in waiting. So we just have to exercise
No, by the way,
patience.
it is true.
Yeah.
By the way, it's true. And I'm not blaming Parliament, and I'm not blaming you for the ambiguity. All I'm saying is that the levels of government that our framers created within the Constitution are meant to resolve these issues. I think Parliament failed in not holding the president accountable. And I think the president failed within his own team by doing this thing Nakifua. One of the things I noticed with Adani was Adani could go further than the British. Yesterday, I noticed that Prince Mountbatten Windsor was arrested in England for allegations of the Epstein files. And it's yet to be seen whether he will be charged for any crime. And also the former US ambassador to Washington, Lord Madison, was arrested. I also know when the IBC issue was raised in Kenya about fraud of election, what we call Chicken Gate, the British directors involved in Chicken Gate are in prison up to now. So I want to tell the directors of Vodacom International that if there is any fraud that is ever proved and any corruption, they are personally responsible. Tomorrow, my lawyers are writing to the 4 offices. We are writing to the House of Commons, the Serious Fraud Office in the UK, and we are going to involve the London Stock Exchange on what Vodacom may or may not know.
Thank you.
Yeah, with regard to this matter.
All right, thank you. I think we've had enough of that. So let's keep it just as we've said, in waiting as it is, so we'll know that matters is executed by the courts and also the findings from Parliament. Okay, we want just to maybe turn the crack a bit and discuss also what is happening in the country. It's good that you're here. You're part of the United Alternative Government or not. We want to know where is the position of KANU, because they've not been, it seems they're lost in the shuffle. You should be in Kisii.
No, Tungeisha. No, it's true.
So where is KANU within all this mix?
No, that is true.
Yeah.
Well, when I last met you, Gideon Moi, angetupeleka huko Tungeisha kwa Kasongo. It's true. And luckily, Gideon Moi and I grew up together, so we are buddies. And it was a difficult period, but he has stayed steady.
So
I'm the
means what?
Sifuna wa KANU. Gideon tutaenda na maji. Akasema acha nikae na tiji. So Gideon Moi has stood with me.
But clearly, what is really happening? Where is KANU?
So KANU is a member of Azimio la Umoja. Azimio la Umoja has the chairman, who is the Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta. Our party leader is Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. And I am the KANU nominee to Azimio. And I will attend my first meeting formally in the next meeting. KANU has joined Azimio la Umoja. Not now, it joined it at the inception. But my instruction from my party chairman is that we are members of Azimio la Umoja. Yes.
Okay, member la Azimio la Umoja.
Yes.
What about the United Alternative Government?
First of all, we really applaud. You know, any team that is one term, any team. In fact, I would rather have 10 teams. I really like the Sifuna, mimi ndio Sifuna one term. Huyo 10 out of 10. Hii ya Kisii ya Matiang'i kusema mutaona mukitusumbua, 10 out of 10. I'm waiting for another one. You know, what we must do is have one term and we leave this man in a village. Yeah.
All right, so there is indication that there could be, and I know you're an avid member of, you have been an avid member of ODM.
Yes.
Yeah, from the beginning.
Yes, I'm a founding member.
You're a founding member. So we want, and of course, we've pointed out some of this intrigues that is happening within ODM right now. From where you sit, with the split that we have clearly, Linda Mwananchi and the Linda Ground faction, how would you advise the party, you as a founding member?
Do you have a wreath in the studio? ODM is dead. ODM is, what are you talking about?
ODM is dead.
What are you editors of media? ODM is dead. There's no ODM. He died with Baba.
We never sang Dajes, to have a peaceful send-off. Yeah. So we are here just to discuss. Yeah. So that
10-point agenda ilizikwa na Baba. ODM ilizikwa na Baba. Can you people let Baba rest? Baba has gone. Let people stand on their own feet. What ODM? There's no ODM is dead. There's no party. Ebu tell me, ask me again.
No. There's an upcoming NDC next month.
Oburu's NDC.
So who will?
Or Raila's? No. What to know? Who's NDC? Raila's or Oburu's? You see, please, I'm trying to understand because I know you as an intelligent fella. Are you not understanding Baba has died?
So ODM was Baba and Baba was ODM?
When Roosevelt died, I remember in the Second War, when Roosevelt died, Truman had to understand that the great Franklin Roosevelt has died. And in fact, the whole world was in shock. Would Truman be able to stand up to the moment? And do you know what Truman had to do to become a man? He had, first of all, to drop 2 bombs in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and then to form the United Nations. Then they realized who is Truman. So the founder of the United Nations was Harry Truman. But the warrior was Roosevelt. So why I admire Sifuna is Sifuna is not mourning Baba. He said, Mimi ndio Sifuna. That is a man. Stand on your feet. Oburu, stand on your feet. Don't start saying, I'm here for Baba. You're not Baba. You will never be Baba. Mm-hmm. Baba has rested. And I want to tell Oburu if he were here. If he were my brother, I would advise him. You see, Raila Odinga was a rare enigma, a rare occurrence in the history of man. It happened with Martin Luther King Jr. when he died, or Mahatma Gandhi. There are people who come and God blesses them with claws beyond their own capacity. So the idea that you think that somehow, the guy called William Ruto, I feel for him, because he got in a coalition with ODM and Baba. But the signatory is dead. So Ruto is in a signatory with himself. What you are calling ODM is UDA. There is no ODM.
Mm-hmm. So do people panelists have been raising, queries? Are we seeing a political sleight of hand of Ruto in the demise of ODM? Or ODM is just imploding all by itself?
I don't know how brutal I'm allowed to be today, because there are several younger people in our audiences. But Africa has seen the crucifixion of many dictators. I would start with Bokassa. He was called Emperor Bokassa of the Central African Republic. Kamuzu Banda, Mobutu Sese Seko, Idi Amin Dada, Said Barre, Bashir here in Sudan. Listen, William Ruto was elected in this country for 1 term. And he must be careful not to think that even Mugabe and others didn't exist. In Africa, dictators can fall. I remember when Gaddafi was shot in the tunnel. He couldn't believe it. I just want to warn Ruto that yes, you can be elected, but don't sit on your people. Baba saved you because he was Baba. And that is why the Gen Z and everybody, now you don't have Baba.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate also to just pick up, the example of Gaddafi, and we know later, even if maybe we were known and they sell the narrative that he was a dictator. But for what did he do for the country? But what were the hands behind the fall of Gaddafi?
Barry, next time.
Are you in any way also insinuating that he's a dictator?
What I'm saying is you can always invite Murkomen to come here and others. We can have a debate. It is not me who is saying what Ruto is. I'm saying from what I'm seeing in the country, if Sifuna goes to Western and he says it's 1 term and everyone says it's 1 term, I say, okay. Then he goes to Kitengela, he says it's 1 term, I see it's 1 term. Then they go to Kisii, they say it's 1 term, I see it's 1 term. And the only thing I see is Ruto with Sakaja in Nairobi saying it's 2 term. Now, I don't know, when I was doing mathematics in school, it was called LCD, the lowest common denominator. If you want to find a problem in maths, you look for the lowest. So from what I can see, William Ruto has amounted to crime. But, who would I know? I'm only a spokesman for KANU.
Okay. Maybe we need also to just delve deeper and try and see this sloganeering that we are talking about. It's a hype right now. Everyone has been carried with it. And we have maybe Kenyans suffering from, just as we've been talking about before, a Messiah complex syndrome. Everyone was shouting, Ruto, just the way they are shouting Sifuna right now, right? But since then, things are, completely different from what we expected before. So aside from the one-term, call, what substantive alternative do we have there? Now they've actually changed and, they've given their name now to United Alternative Government. We wanted to know what is, the option and what is substantively different with United
Substantially,
Alternative Government. Just a moment. Can we just take some bit of reactions, then we continue?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
All right. So we have Kamau Wafina from Facebook is saying, yes, but they should not hurry the process. This is all about the sale of Safaricom. They should give chance for bidding and they sell it to the highest bidder. That is from Facebook. Still on Facebook, Boni MG, very damn move. It shows how the government is clueless. This is what Boni MG is saying. Let's see if another one is coming up. We have James Max. Wenye tunalalamika, adi hatuna 10 bob. Right? Those are sentiments that are coming through. We'd ask the question of the sale of Safaricom. Paul Chemrot, he says the sale is financially smart in the short term, unlocking billions and boosting investors' confidence, but politically and strategically, it's a delicate balance. Kenya gains capital and global integration, but risks ceding too much control over its most critical corporate assets. And of course, hashtag is the insight. We want to take a short break. We continue, of course, the discussion with Tony Gachoka. Now we delve deeper into this and find out what is the alternative within the United Alternative Government, since now they've moved from United Opposition to the United Alternative Government. Are we still caught up in this Messiah complex syndrome? Right, we saw Matiang'i, they came out in force receiving Matiang'i from the airport, went to Kisii, but right now they're trying to also heighten the profile of Matiang'i. Did he lose out between when he came and now? Has that particular euphoria tapered off? We'll answer these questions on the other side of the break.
To you in 3, 2.
Looking back, I was a serious workaholic. I'd be working all the time. Come in very early, leave probably the following day. Working so hard within the TV industry, I wanted that to be the place where I could prove myself. I literally nearly killed myself working.
Workaholism is a compulsion to work excessively hard and long hours.
I'm Dumi, I'm 20, and I almost wrecked my life trying to work until I just couldn't anymore.
Workaholism is not yet recognized as a medical condition, but psychologists say the symptoms are much like those of someone addicted to gambling or substances.
In high school, I didn't fit into all the cool groups. I finally went into modeling, going to commercials, and I saw a director on set. As soon as I saw him, I was just like, that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. That was where all the top people were. When I started my internship, I knew that this is an opportunity that I can't let go of. I got to meet presenters, celebrities, and you meet designers, you meet all these cool people, and that was what made me want to work harder.
Workaholics often need to increase their workloads to keep getting the same sense of satisfaction from work. This rise in tolerance is a common sign of addiction.
I never managed to disconnect. But I'm not trying to prove myself to other people only. I'm also trying to prove something to myself and to show the people I grew up with that I'm someone worth noting. I'm someone worth respecting as well. And another reason is because I'm the firstborn, first of 6 children. So I wanted to be the one to make sure that I'm out of their pockets and I can carve my own way by myself.
Workaholism isn't necessarily about the number of hours you work, but about your ability to put it aside. If you can't step away, it can lead to chronic stress.
Now I'm thinking about work all the time, less contact with friends. So people are like, dude, let's hang out on Saturday. Sorry, man, no, I have to work. I started missing very simple things such as calling my mom. And for a guy who grew up with a single mother, that's not the greatest thing to do. And from there onwards, I'd missed my best friend's birthday as well.
I became concerned when he started doing a lot more late night shifts than he normally did. That's when I started becoming more concerned about his mental health.
Signs of workaholism include freeing up personal time in order to work, feeling stressed when unable to work, withdrawing socially, and working to avoid feelings of guilt, anxiety, or inadequacy.
I started messing up because I couldn't keep up with all the bookings for like a presenter. I couldn't keep up with all the bookings for a sound guy, for camera, all the different shoot days.
Burnout is closely related to work addiction, and may be its major consequence. There are many early signs of burnout: sleep and stomach issues, headaches, poor concentration, chronic exhaustion, and feeling.
Welcome back. Holding court with Tony Gachoka, the KANU spokesperson. And of course, we are drilling deeper and getting granular with the United Alternative Government. I'm posing the question, what alternative do they have? Aside from just the one-time sloganeering that is there, I have not heard anything from that particular podium. You know, it is scapegoating and, virulent verbalizing that is coming from those podiums. And also the issue of Raila's death for the second time, right? Just a moment, for the second time, we've heard from Orengo that Raila's death, behind it is some forces, and they want an inquisition on Raila's death. You know, this is a matter which is very sensitive. And you've been also with Raila, and you know how dear, and he has endeared himself with Kenyans. Why will they be taking these things on the podium? That's what we're asking. Aside from the sloganeering, do you have any content that you can give to Kenyans so that it is not just Sisi Ndio Sifuna, Wanta, and Raila? Who killed Raila? Yes.
So I'll answer both questions. I'll begin first of all on what you are saying is the agenda of this united opposition. The united opposition know that if they hold any elections with the IBC and the current police force, William Ruto will win. So unfortunately for Kenyans, and I want to say this without prejudice because I know legal matters, that the united opposition are going to make sure that Kenya's temperatures rise. In fact, I don't want to say, because if I say, they will say I said it here. So let me not say what I want to say.
Temperature rise in what sense? You know,
if I say it here, no, William,
temperature rise.
No, William Ruto looks for me in many ways, and so I don't want to say. But let me put it this way: there can be activities in this country that make people uncomfortable. Let me put it that way. I can't put it any other way because they would say Tony Gachoka was asking for this to happen, which is not the case. But the united opposition will make sure, I think, that there will not be comfort in the normal operations of state until certain things are resolved. Among them, the IBC, the free and fair flow of ID cards, the police conduct, and so forth. I think there is naivety in the Ruto camp that people will just go to 2027 the way he has planned it. That, oh, amepanga IBC, amepanga IG, amepanga ID, and that this group of people will just go for him to consume them. So it is just better to tell Murkomen who are...
Yeah, but what is the structure?
look,
we can talk about them, but we are focusing now on you, the alternative.
I understand you.
Yes.
I was just going to be brief.
I just want to know, what is the structure? Because this is
I'm coming to that.
A fleeting cloud.
I was going to be brief to that because Murkomen knows me and the Junet Mohammed knows me. Some of these people who you think are on the other side, they may not listen to other people, but they know me. So I want to tell you, Murkomen. You know, Murkomen, you.
But Murkomen is not here to defend. No, you can't just to talk to Murkomen and he's not here. I don't know what you want to tell him.
No, but I'm just
we've come here to have a discussion, not for you to
Okay.
come and address Murkomen on this particular platform.
All right, then.
We are conversing with you. Yes, because he's not here.
Okay.
Apparently, he's not here to defend himself, so I will not
Murkomen.
it's not really admissible for you to just take this
Anyway,
platform.
let's go.
But
I know him.
No, I'm just asking you a critical. Let's focus on the united opposition. What is the structure? It seems to be very amorphous. People want to plumb differ. Yes, there is a euphoria. Yes, Sisi ndio Sifuna is a slogan that has picked up. But beyond that, what is it?
So, Debari, I think Kenya is going to go, ironically, through the same process that Donald Trump is going through in America. And the strongman syndrome is not new for students of history. So, the opposition in the US is beginning to recover from their losses. And they have won midterm elections. They have won critical races that Trump is on the run. He's the most unpopular president since the foundation of polling in the US. And he came in the same way Ruto came. So I want you to look at this in a historical context. Ruto, politics is a plus, not a minus. You must say, what are you gaining and what are you losing? When the Right Honorable Raila Odinga was alive, Ruto gained Raila. And with that, he gained plus. Since Raila has passed, Ruto has minus. Minus Kisi, minus Kamba, minus TG, minus Debari. You show me a plus. Even you say you are with him. You can say, we are here. You don't have to agree with me. Just say I'm with Ruto.
It is not about me.
No, I'm just saying it's a minus. So the reason I'm raising this issue, it is not personal. Politics is about numbers and gains. It's not about losing. Yeah, you must be able to check that on your plus column, you're getting more than on your negative column. And if the opposition is getting more than negative column, you cannot say that they don't have an agenda, because the agenda that they are selling is that they are not happy with this regime. And therefore, they must get together, formulate, first of all, a strategic plan. They must look at a SWOT analysis on the strengths, weaknesses of each other. They must have a scientific approach about who is a good presidential candidate, because a good mobilizer is not a good manager. So I agree with you, there are many pregnant questions about how you can make a presidency important or a manifesto important. And I agree with you that the opposition is getting late.
It's getting late?
Yes.
It seems to be very amorphous.
Yes.
It just seems hyping the crowd,
Yes.
you know, and all these things can happen when you have all these, should I say, hysterical moments. You know, people now responding to the hype that is ongoing, but we're not getting any substantive solutions that is coming, aside from the one-term, two-term. There's no structure, right? Who's the spokesperson of the United Alternative Government? We still wonder, is it Mukisa Kitui or is it Rigathi Gachagua? Where is even Mukisa Kitui in this all solution? It just seems to be lost in the shuffle.
I don't know I don't know how Mukisa Kitui came in or not. I was not involved, so I cannot comment about that. I can only comment about KANU and our involvement and my instructions from my chairman.
Which you've been a bit prevaricating on it. I can't get any clear discourse from you where KANU really stands.
No, KANU is in the Azimio la Umoja coalition, and my instructions are that the Azimio la Umoja...
So Azimio la Umoja is not part of the United Alternative?
What
government.
Do you mean? Our party leader is Kalonzo Musyoka, who is part of the United Opposition. But as I said, KANU is a part of Azimio la Umoja.
Okay.
For the same reason.
We've not seen any traction of KANU within this particular.
But I'm here. I'm KANU.
What I'm saying on the ground. Come on, yeah, you're KANU on TV. Where are you on the ground? Why are you in Kitengela?
What do you mean?
No, I'm just asking sincere question.
What do you mean by the ground?
You know what I mean.
No, what do you
exactly
mean? Ask me.
As in, you're not backed into the system of this machinery, even if when you're talking about...
have you read the Electoral Code of Conduct? When do elections begin? Mm-hmm. And when are parties allowed to conduct elections? KANU complies with the election laws. Are you trying to tell?
So these are flouting election laws?
I can't speak about others. You're asking me about KANU.
But in a nuanced way, you're telling us, we're not doing this because these other parties are completely flouting
the rules of elections allow and say that elections begin, KANU will begin to campaign. But right now, there is no election. The rules of election don't allow this campaign.
The last time I saw, your party leader was in State House. That is the optic that I have. Yeah. I have not seen him in any, part of his Azimio, part of his...
Now, this is the most important part of this discussion. Gideon Moi alikuwa kwa hatari. Unajua, hii Kasongo ni mtu hatari. Alishika my party leader. Akamwambia kuja tuongee. And then, I saw Gideon ameenda huko. Na mimi nikaweka mitego, kama ile ya Gachagua. Kaeka mitego. Kasema, wacha amalize na mimi nikae na Gideon. So walipomaliza mimi nilikaa na Gideon. Sasa uliza Kasongo, Gideon yuko wapi? Sasa tuko pamoja. So siasa ni siasa. Gideon was very attractive to Ruto. It's true. But Gideon has stood with Kenya and he has stood with me. And Gideon and I go back from when we were kids. And Gideon Moi is one of the most integral men I know. And I know that the Standard newspaper group, his whole businesses, all of them stand with Kenya. And Gideon Moi is a member of Azimio la Umoja, and he has appointed me the spokesman of KANU. Na pole sana Kasongo, ulijaribu kushika kijana, lakini
we are not here to address Kasongo. We are here to have a discussion. No.
Angechukua kijana ningeumia.
Okay, just your closing remarks at this moment. I should be just asking you also, I don't know what the deal is. You're still running for the gubernatorial seat of Nairobi?
I think, if I'm not wrong, Tony Gachoka is the leading candidate for the gubernatorial seat.
What metrics are we using? We don't know.
What I would say is this, that I'm going to bring integrity, but I'm also going to be prepared to offer myself to a united opposition to make sure that they have the right person. I think there are people who have said that they want to run. I've heard about them. I've heard that Babu Owino wants to run. I've heard that Gakuya wants to run. I've heard Nyakera wants to run. And Tony Gachoka wants to run. What I expect is that Kenyans or Nairobians will decide among themselves who can be able to not only run Nairobi well or with integrity, but somebody who can add something into the national discussion beyond what you say, the crowd pulling. One of the reasons I'm in court on Safaricom, one of the reasons I went to court on Nandani, I can't understand if you are a lawyer, as Babu Owino says, and you want to save Nairobi. You can't save the airport. Tony Gachoka saved Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. It's a matter of public record. Tony Gachoka is in court saving Safaricom. This is serious business. So I don't know if people want the biggest guys who throw stones, that's okay. But if guys want serious business, then Tony Gachoka is serious.
So you're questioning the brand of our politics?
I say this to the Almighty God, that I thank my father for sending me to school. That's all I can say at TV 47.
Tony Gachoka, thank you so much for coming through. We really do appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, my
It's a pleasure.
brother.
Thank you.
And I'm happy to have been here.
Thank you so much.
Kenya Mbele, thank you so much.
Right, that is Tony Gachoka, the spokesperson of KANU. And we were just looking at the issues of politics and, of course, the sale of Safaricom, which they're in court together with Professor Fred Okola, challenging it. But, of course, also this is a matter which is alive within the presence of Parliament. So we'll be awaiting to see what will be the outcome of that and also this challenge as well. Thank you for your valid company. You've been watching The Insight here on TV47.